Alrighty. Got to take a leak somewhere, so we found a fast food restaurant. $152 so far today, and trying to hit the 300 mark. Alright, today we are trying the Banana McFlurry. This, something, I forgot what it's called. And this Indian creation. So we went to the International McDonald's. That was the only place that had a bathroom that was open. When you resort to fast food, that's not great because I was hungry at the same time. But half these fast food places don't have. I went to Jubilee because I always was like, oh, I really want to try Jubilee. Well, I was waiting in line. Nobody assisted me, but they assisted another gentleman, and I was like, all right, well, bye. And they also had no public washrooms. Great. Went to a hotel before even trying food. Let's try free stuff. Let me put on my blinkers. Let me act like I'm a client. I couldn't find the bathroom because the hotel was like on a second floor, and I saw the guy. I was looking out the window. I saw the guy walking. Even while walking here, as soon as I was walking out, there was a guy that wanted to ticket me. We were super, super duper close. But I was like, I don't even have money for a little parking. I mean, I do, but I don't want to pay it for something that I was going to be quick in and out. Anyways, yeah. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Michael, and today we are at Millennium Park, Chicago. Just dropped off two gentlemen with golf clubs, and I'm very happy I picked out my wife's VW. It has more space in the back seat and in the back trunk because golf clubs probably wouldn't have fit in my Volvo S60. So with that, it's always a problem trying to find a place to relieve yourself. Well, no, that doesn't sound professional. A bathroom, a restroom in the middle of the city. But we need to. We started late today, so it's not going to be a crazy day. I'm hoping tips can make it up because yesterday we could have done a trip or two more and we would have hit over 250. But thankfully we ended the night at like 230 plus tips, and we were at like 248 and a couple cents. So almost at 250 altogether. Because of the previous nights, people still tipping. We ended up being over $750 over, a couple dollars over for the 3 days. So it's 250 average. Again, let's just say $50 for gas every day. That gives me 200 profit, not accounting for taxes or depreciation. We will care about that later. For taxes, obviously, when we do file, we are going to try and use the miles and depreciation, pretty much everything we can. Oh, and Chicago is always a fun place. There's a lot of honking. It's like New York, so thankfully my previous clients were understanding. The problem is I don't know Chicago that well. I'm getting better at it. But today's video this is like the fourth day we're doing Uber. Today's video is, in this car, I feel better, more leg room, not as much headroom. So the perfect car is long-term plan. We have applied to a bunch of bank teller, universal banker positions, credit unions, banks. Let's get that 19, 20 bucks an hour. Plan is to finish college within the next year, less than a year. I'm giving myself less than a year, hopefully next March or next April at the latest, unless something really drastic happens the next summer, but that is fine. So 1 year or less, hopefully 9 months. We are 18% done, about to be 20% done. We didn't have enough time to get started, to work on everything. So we are going to try and do everything possible to get at least 30-40% done before the semester is over. We do have a tough class right now. It's going to be with an intro to accounting and whatnot. I forgot what it's called, but you got to learn Microsoft Excel. It's nothing too crazy. It's just you have to learn it. So what we're going to do is plan is hopefully get bank teller, universal banker position, whatever, something to do with banks, because I think we have a pretty good chance of getting that. First of all, cash handling experience. Do I have cash handling experience? Well, I looked up cash handling experience. What is that? Does that mean with a cash register? Because I've never operated a cash register, except I looked it up in one of the first official pages. I don't know, it was like a journalist or whatever, but writing about what is cash handling. Do you qualify for cash handling experience, which a lot of these bank positions require that? And one of the first things that was mentioned was, yes, if you obviously used a cash register or, no turn on red, super close, didn't want to do that, so we're good. And now the tricky thing is going to be finding a bathroom. But I qualify because the third or fourth thing, the first two were like typical, banking, cash register, whatever. And one of them was, handling checks, handling cryptocurrency. Well, wait, handling cryptocurrency, we've done that, obviously. I've actually handled, and that suddenly like a light bulb moment went off. We have handled cash because we sold crypto, we purchased crypto, we sold crypto, we traded crypto in Poland and abroad as well, and here, where I met up with people with local Bitcoins at cafes and traded Bitcoin for cash and bought Bitcoin for cash and went to crypto ATMs and bought from crypto ATMs and sold stuff for cash. Obviously, I've handled cash. So, and we've invested where I had to take out the cash. I've got a lot of stories to suddenly tell. So I can comfortably say, confidently, as long as that is qualifying, which it seems to be qualifying, and if not, it's still going to be a good story to tell during interviews. I've got a year or 2 years of experience at least with that. Next up, sales. Well, obviously, I was a car salesman. Almost 2 years, a year and 10 months. That means that I can qualify, obviously, for sales experience. Any finance experience, not required, but preferred. Well, yes, we learned finance, and I've applied for banks that our dealership worked with. And that's great because you suddenly have a story to tell. Stories are very powerful. Human psychology, we learned about this in sales. Very powerful tools, and they can help, certainly. You got to sell yourself at these interviews. I'm very excited because now we finally see a light at the end of the tunnel. It's going to be tough. We're going to have to hustle. We're going to have to grind. It's going to be very tough with the debt. Without the debt, honestly, it wouldn't be so hard. It would be easy. Okay, whatever, pancake walk, $200 a day, Uber every single day. That's fine. Look around for jobs. That's fine. Who cares? Rent makes it difficult. Debt makes it difficult, but it's not impossible. And my wife is starting her new job on Monday, and she just applied for another credit card. She's building her credit. She will be able to help me within the next month, too, even more so than she's helping right now. She's already helping a lot. She gave me what she could. She loaned me a little bit, and obviously she's supporting me however she can. With getting this job, it should be easy. I also have a couple of years of marketing experience. I've got marketing, I've got sales, I've got a little bit of finance experience because we weren't calling in deals, but we were handling contracts. We were, handling pretty important documents, going through, selling products. All of this stuff is very important. And then the last thing is, eventually, banks want a degree, and they many times want an NMLS license. Well, this just happens to be perfect because my family told me, hey, become a mortgage broker. So I've always been, I've recently been interested in getting an NMLS license and potentially becoming a mortgage broker. Well, you need to repair your credit. I was looking at the TSA positions as well. You need to repair your credit. One of my collections just got sold off. Which is good because that means it's a different company because both collections were owned by the same company. I can pay off the smaller one, $460. I can pay that off. Do a pay for delete, hopefully. The other one was larger because it added up to $1,901, and I wasn't able to do it because if you pay off one with the same company, they're going to demand for you to do the other one. Well, now I can hopefully have a better shot at pay for delete. So hopefully that's going to help with credit. I'm very excited because I can tell them as well, hey, I'm going to finish my degree. I'm interested in getting an NMLS license in the future. I'm working on repairing my credit right now. Next year, I'm going to be perfect. So suddenly, we are going to stand a very, very good chance from going 19, 18, 20 bucks an hour, whatever, to 24, 25, 26, working 40 hours, normal 9 to 5, or 8:30 to 5:30 or whatever. I'll take extra hours, overtime. I'll take it. Why not? And then this is great experience for whatever corporate position you want to go into. So I've always been interested in banking environments. They're quiet. They're nice. It's going to be less stressful. And people are saying, oh, it's stressful. You got to deal with clients. Well, at the dealership, we had many interesting situations. at the Mitsubishi store I worked at. There was a gentleman one time that came straight from prison with tattoos, with racist tattoos, interesting symbols tattooed. I'm not going to describe him here because they're controversial, very controversial. One of the most controversial symbols ever. Think about it. It's German. So he had one of those, and that was an interesting client. We had another client who called the police on us because our finance manager ran credit twice instead of once. Whoops. We had people freak out. I had a client, this was a good experience, not bad, who flashed his gun at me just to show, like, hey, I got a gun, I'm locked and loaded. It was more for fun, but it's also terrifying because you never know. Someone could be crazy. I had a kid who was freaking out, driving a rear-wheel drive BMW in the middle of winter. There was a lot of situations. Where I think they're going to be a little bit more stressful than working as a bank teller. So got to have a lot of stories to tell and great career opportunities. You just have to start at the bottom. That is fine because, again, we're going to be doing any money that I need after hours on my 2 free days. We're going to be doing Uber, Lyft, DoorDash, whatever. We're going to make up for it. They're going to see I'm grinding. They're going to see I'm hustling. And hopefully next year we're going to be able to advance this YouTube channel as well. So super exciting, which leads me to the last thing. If I'm going to continue this, in order for my legs not to hurt as much, we are looking to buy a Ford Fusion. We did a tour with a Ford Fusion in Arizona, looked up, and from $10,000 to $15,000, you can find a pretty decent Ford Fusion, a base model, because I don't want the sunroof, and it's going to be perfect for me, and that is going to be the cash cow. That's going to be the tool to make an extra $50,000. So it's going to be a pretty good investment through Uber, DoorDash, Lyft. A newer one, of course, but, closer to that $15,000 mark. Still less expensive than definitely less expensive than Volkswagen, less expensive than my Volvo originally was. And with that, later on, before we get to 120,000 miles or 130,000, I believe it is, you can, as long as it's properly maintained, you can take that vehicle from Uber, Lyft, DoorDash. Eventually, this is temporary. I'm going to do this for a year, maybe less, maybe a couple months. Definitely want to do a job and this, but the hours I'll reduce and whatnot, and then I could go back to my Volvo. I don't know, who cares? But I can take that car that we will purchase. This isn't going to be like next month, but it is going to be later this year, as long as I'm still doing this, and then use it for Turo. Then do the exact same thing the guy in Arizona was doing, and then take another one and start a little Turo fleet. There's a lot of risks into it, but if you're purchasing a car where it's right in that price point, as long as you do your research, you are certainly able to find a good deal. And with that, hopefully we're able to make some money. So definitely a lot of plans, a lot of stuff that, I'm not going to reveal all my plans. We're just doing. At this point, it's get up, grind, do, and make money and pay off debts. That's the number one thing. But I'm very excited. We're feeling a little bit better. Still super stressed out because the number one thing is got to pay rent, got to pay these big bills. Just paid a huge bill this morning. Just barely. My wife had to help me out, but it's paid. So we paid off a small little loan. We got to get rid of some of these things. And over the next year as well, we are going to have one of the worst credit rebuilder loans that's $2,500. We'll pay that off, and then we'll have $2,500 that will come back. And that's going to be huge. That's going to help credit. We are slowly going to pay off these credit cards. It was a setback. This past month has been a huge setback, but the economy's not great. So anyways, I got to find a restroom. So wish me luck. And that was that. So pretty exciting. I know I've been behind on uploads, so this is going to come out in a couple days because it's Saturday right now, but I still got to upload the stuff from 3 days ago today. And, we're just going to upload actually probably tomorrow because we're going to return late. But anyways, just want to thank you for joining me on this journey. I appreciate every single one of you. And with that, hopefully YouTube as well gives me a couple $100 this year. That'd be nice. All money helps. It's going to be an interesting journey. I'm very excited to share it with you. Have a good rest of your day. Take care. Okay, ignore that noise, but check that out. And a Huracan just passed, and there was also a 599 that was just going crazy. But that piques my attention the most. All right, thankfully we found a large gas station relatively close by. That saved us.